Family, what's that word? We are back. I want to thank everybody for being here. Real talk. Um, as y'all know, certain things might be coming to a closing, and I might have certain things up for purchase. Wink, wink. I reached out to a person that really supported me. I gave her first dibs, but changes got to be made, and yeah, decision time is here. But before all of that stuff, I want to get to this King Von content that we're privy to this from a few years ago, but it's time to bring it back with everything that we know that's going on right now. This is Gyla, y'all, and watch this with an open mind. That's all I'm gonna say. And yeah, as I was stating before, y'all, look out for your boy. $ Trap House Kitchen 1. I'm 337 bucks short on something. And it's imperative, if you can, you look out for me. Trap House Kitchen 1. Everything helps. Let's get to it.
Everything that I have said from video one is playing out. We know that he was set up. Donovan is Dirk. Y'all knew that. I just like using the codes because I like suspense, and also so they wouldn't be fucking with me, but legally, so I won't have to take my videos down. But Donovan is Dirk. Dirk sacrificed him, like I said. When I say Von said that he was the mastermind, and meaning he was the one that brought Von in. He was the one that put his name up. He was the one that gave his name up. Dirk isn't new to this. This isn't a new game for him. He been doing this. This isn't something new. But he just didn't know how big Von's spirit was. And so he kind of played himself this time because it isn't going to go how he expects it to go. So in part 1 and 2, Von wanted me to reach out to a couple people, and in part 3, I stated that I wasn't trying to reach out to those people. A lot of people turned their backs on Von, and that's why right now he is still not resting, and he's just as angry as he was a couple of months ago. A lot of people folded on him. A lot of people accepted hush money. A lot of people accepted bribery. A lot of people,
Bribery, hush money, people accepting gifts and things like that. Listen, y'all. What would make 21 get Kayla B a truck? They say she was known to be smashing a few industry dudes, allegedly. But after this moment, what was the incentive for her to get that truck from bro?
accepted cash as opposed to honoring him like he would honor them. And I would like to say, first of all, this when you blood sacrifice somebody, it takes years of preparation. You just don't do this in a couple of months. It be years in advance. Dirk already knew ahead of time. Back to the court case, if y'all go back and look at that footage, look at their body language. Von already knew at that moment then what he was dealing with. He knew that nigga wasn't right. He knew that nigga wasn't genuine. He wasn't pure then. If you could look at if you can read body language, y'all swear y'all empaths. Everybody swear they got these magic powers. Why y'all not tapping in and looking at it and seeing it for what it is, right? So it was a good chance that Von was going to get away with those charges, just being facts, just stating the obvious here, how it was going. So
now those charges, I don't think they were going to get away. I really don't. I don't think they were going to get away with it. I think the feds were piling up more things against these dudes. That's what I really think. And I think Von was a loose end that needed to be taken care of. And they did what they had to do. But I think that situation served many different purposes. We know a lot of people benefited, whether they were included in the situation or not, just being affiliated by name or just their likeliness around this dude's likeliness. The rap chick,
Dirk saw that as the perfect opportunity as to offer him up and to also make himself go up. Because I don't care what y'all say, that man ain't that hot. He haven't been that hot. Every other day, his name is something. More airtime, billboards, like nominated for a Grammy. And that shit whack. Let's just be real. And that's no hate. I don't know these people personally. This isn't personal here. This is all vibration. And this just, the truth is the truth. Justice must be served here. So Von was gonna beat that case. Von is also harder than is a better artist than him. Not only that, Von was what he said he was. So what he did in the streets matched, you know what I'm saying, what he rapped about. It was just all, he was gonna go so far. He was gonna blow so big. And of course Dirk couldn't have that because
Now, think about how long Von was doing music versus Dirk. Then think about the impact. The impact. Von was scheduled to outdo Baby, Shiesty, Dirk, and plenty more. And I feel like he still would have been above them dudes if he was still here. Think about how impactful his music was. Think about the art of storytelling and how he just mastered it and made it rhythmic so you can bob your head and vibe to it. Come on, man. I got some top from a stripper. She from Kankakee. Like, come on, man. Yeah, y'all get the point. Anyway, let's continue. And shoot them cash apps out, y'all. I need 350 approximately. But $ Trap House Kitchen 1, y'all. Real talk.
he don't want to be nobody, the teacher doesn't want the student to overpower them. Well, a corrupt ass teacher would, but that is what it's for. You supposed, if you're gonna bring somebody into your fold, you know, bring them in genuinely. That was a whole plot. The three kings, Donovan, Dirk, Q, Quando, Rondo, NBA, Youngboy, I said they a pair, and they are. That whole little beef with them baby mamas and them talking to Asian doll and all that was a stage, all that was a setup. There wasn't no real beef there. Them people really not beefing. You know, the industry will, of course, y'all know they be staging beef. That shit don't be real, and this was one of those instances, okay? This was all applied from the beginning, and Von didn't see it coming because, well, he kind of saw it coming, but Asian doll was sent to make sure, because we all know, look at all the movies, go back in history, the woman is sent in to make the guy soft, to give him a weakness, to take him off his game, and that's what Asian doll was sent in. That's why the whole relationship was publicly documented like that. She was sent in by Dirk. She knew Dirk before Von. Like, come on.
And that's a fact, y'all. That is a whole fact. Everything she just said about that relationship and why she was sent there, it's a fact in my opinion. She was sent there, in my opinion, for distraction. That's why Von wasn't on top of his finances and things like that, and he was so easily finessed. Think about all of this new stardom. Think about all of this new money. Now you got this plastic chick in your face acting like she loves you. Like, come on, man. And then you got to think about the part where the chicks both switched sides. Come on, man. You cannot ignore that.
And that's because it was all a setup. That whole beef, that wasn't no real beef. That was just something to feed to the public to cover up this sacrifice. And that's just facts. That's why Quando Rondo around here, he's not worried about nothing with $8 million on his head. He's the most carefree I done seen him. Because if I had an $8 million battle on my head, I wouldn't be around here acting like everything all peaches and cream. Y'all got to see beyond what's being shown to you. The price, that the rewards they got for playing a part in this is to go up. Look at Asian doll, y'all. She ain't never been that hot. I don't care how long she was rapping. Yeah, she was a rapper before him, but he made her hot, and that's facts. And now she's only hot. That's why she keep bringing up his name. I'm sorry, it's not genuine. I'm not finna sit here and say that.
Big facts. Nobody was tapping in or tuning in to Asian before she was with Von, and not too much after she was with Von. She had to go get that man face tattooed on her. Then she had to go make songs like him. She really tried to inherit and harvest his energy for her output. Like, come on. I'm going to tell y'all who didn't benefit Quando. That boy lost all the way around. Period. And I feel like homie was just a casualty of what went on. I really do. Like, that boy did not, he couldn't even book shows, y'all. Quando could not book shows anywhere. And the ones that he did, it was only like 8 people there because they were probably scared. Think about that. And then think about what happened to Quando out there in Cali. No, no. Yeah.
She knew about it because she knew who sent her. She knew why she was on Vaughn like that. She knew the reason why she had, and she also know the reason why she's trapped in a contract now. She took that oath, and she got to do things she don't want to do. That's why she made that live. They always make those lives once they take the oath and regret all the shit they got to do and all the sacrifices that they gonna have to make on their own. They get scared. They want to, you know what I'm saying, take it back. But that's just what it was. It was a whole little storyline. It's a whole little plot. So they orchestrated that beef and to just, you know, set it up and to feed it to the public. Where Von's friends come in at, and like with his sister Kayla, I tried to reach out to Kayla, and this is what happened, and with what happened with Von when I spoke to Von about her. I tried to reach out to her, but when trying to reach out to her, I felt some bad vibrations for her. So when I talked to Vaughn again, I told him that I wasn't going to reach out to her anymore because I don't like her vibrations. And I don't give a fuck who you are. If I don't like those vibrations, I do not engage. I do not put myself in that situation. So the last time I told him that, you know, I tried to reach out to her and I didn't like her vibrations, I wasn't going to do it again. He told me not to. He told me that she's a lost cause and that they had already got to her and to let her hang herself. And those his exact words. I wouldn't dare make it up. But if you look at what's going on, it's like she chose the fame. It's like
all right, real quick, I want to let you guys know that a lot of this stuff happened around November 20th or something like that of 2020. And Shorty made this video like literally not too long after the situation. So a lot of this stuff she's saying, I feel like she really didn't know ahead of time. Nobody really, like, especially me, I didn't know who Vaughn was before I covered this stuff. I didn't know anything about dude except for he was tied to Dirt and he was from Chicago and he could tell some stories. That's all I knew. But for her to be able to see all these things and not know much about it says a lot, y'all. Kayla, I feel like she was infiltrated. I feel like she was gone off of Von's clout. And I feel like she loved what she got from it. Period. Infiltrated. They already got to her. Hence 21 getting her a Range Rover brand new. You gotta put this shit together, y'all. It's deeper than what it is, but it's real simple to articulate what really went on, in my opinion. Everything is alleged in this video, so don't get it twisted, and you know we gotta say all that stuff, but let's go.
I feel like they accepted money, they accepted fame, the promise of wealth, the promise of status, as opposed to speaking up for Von and opposed to speaking up for what's going on with him. And that's what happened. All Kayla cares about is being a celebrity and hanging out with celebrity and those facts, and I don't care. That's just what it is. The same as with his friends. Everybody saying that his friends riding for him, but he said that everybody eating off of him. Everybody he eating off of him and nobody riding for him. It's like motherfuckers didn't accept the hush money. And you know what I'm saying, even his friends, because his one friend in particular, I hope I'm saying the name right, Muwap, Von really expected different from him and expected highly of him. And I feel as if this person allowed the promise of success or the promise of gold and the promise of riches turn him against what he knows to be true. Von know ain't nobody riding for him. Von know ain't nobody sliding for him. Von know that there's not going to be any, you know what I'm saying, it's not going to be any retaliation because there's nothing to retaliate from. It was an inside job. He was backdoor, so who you going to retaliate on? And so my job was to let as many people know as possible, to get this word out as possible, that he wanted everybody to know that it was a setup, and he wanted everybody to know that folks, that the people that's supposed to be riding for him, because if it was y'all, if it was Dirk that had got shot, he would have been riding for him. If it was anybody else that had got, shot, he would have been riding for him. But they not. And what people don't realize is Dirk isn't who he say he is. Like he don't be doing a lot of things. Like he didn't help Von out when Von was in jail. I don't.
We're gonna end it right there because that's gonna bring me back to that point about the when Von needed 19,000. That's gonna take me back to that part where they were in court and Von was giving Dirk that look after Dirk was smiling and cheesing, looked at Von and then had the straight face. Watch who you be around, y'all. Watch who you give your loyalty to. Watch who you trust and everything like that. And like I said, y'all, hit the Cash App, please. $ Trap House Kitchen 1. I'm trying to keep the channel going, but it's killing my pockets. I'm sorry. I got to make a crossover here soon. But as long as y'all can look out, I'll keep going. But it got to be a decision made because it's hurting me, y'all. I'm here asking y'all to look out for me due to keeping the channel going. Anyway, I'm out. Peace.